Stop scrolling, stop searching for that perfect tennis string. We have narrowed it down, we have tested them all, and we have got the best 5 on the market for you coming up.
Number 1 is a brand new entry. It was not anywhere near our 2023 list, so watch this space. We have been busy testing strings over the last
12 months, yeah. 12 months of testing. Probably, how many different strings do you reckon we've tested?
Far too many.
Yeah.
Who would have thought little bits of plastic could be so different? Polymers versus polyesters versus monofilaments versus synthetic guts.
Yeah. I'd say we've done 30, I reckon we've tested 30 different poly strings, and we're going to give you our top 5 polyester strings today.
Yeah, we don't need anyone saying, what about natural gut?
We know natural guts.
What about triax?
Yeah. What about NFT2, whatever the one was you got wrong last year?
Thanks for that. There's lots of very nice multi-filament strings, and we may rank them in a separate video.
Yes.
But for today, because there's lots of polyester strings on the market at the moment and new ones coming out all the time, we thought we would put them all together and figure out the top 5 polyester strings, monofilament strings for your game.
So we will start with our honourable mentions before we get into the top 5. And the first honourable mention goes to Head's Hawk Power, an incredibly popular string. We sold a lot of this year. Really good control. It gives you plenty of power, as you'd expect from a string called Hawk Power.
And it's classified.
It is classified, which makes it feel very exclusive.
So well done, Head.
But it's actually the control of the string that made this elevate it into the honourable mentions.
Now, coming in next was a very popular string last year, and one that people commented on a lot. That wasn't in our top 5, and it still isn't, I'm afraid.
Yeah, and it also it led us back onto court to retry it to see if the people, you lot, were right and we were wrong. And if you watch our full review of this string, you'll see that we did really like the string. It's a fantastic string, especially at the price point that it's at.
And that is Solinco Hyper G.
Everyone's green favourite, like the Hulk.
The Hulk of tennis.
Yes. Hyper G is fabulous. I think that, as I mentioned, one of the great things about Hyper G is it sits in that really good poly range, but it's a lot cheaper. It really comes in on the low end on the price scale, and therefore, as an overall product, really impressive. And so really good if you're restringing a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're a top-end player getting 3 strings, breaking strings, it's certainly a string that I would consider.
Yes, a lot of high-end juniors.
Yeah.
Love that string.
Very earnest, that.
Yes.
Our final honourable mention is from Luxilon, and this is an honourable mention for some different reasons. The string itself, we weren't huge fans of. It plays quite similarly to RPM Blast, that's what it's actually pitched at, and it is Luxilon's Eco Power. Now the reason why this is in there is because I think it is the future of tennis strings, and I think it will be the way that lots of brands move their tennis strings forwards. Babolat, for example, have been solvent-free for the last 15 years, so they've kind of been ahead of the curve. Now we've got recycled packaging from almost every brand, and I think that's going to push even more. And in this case, recycled material making the string as well.
Yeah, I think, you know, before people jump on us, it is safe to say that tennis is not great in terms of sustainability and eco-friendliness, and that strings in particular are a nightmare in that regard. However, the honourable mention goes because they are trying. They are trying,
and it's not bad.
Things. Yeah, the string's okay. It's quite good. But they are trying to do something positive in terms of looking after our planet. So, of course, that could almost be number 1 for that reason alone, Josh.
I don't know if I'm
but it doesn't have the touch and feel.
It doesn't have the touch and feel.
It may save the planet, but it doesn't have the touch and feel.
So, 100% made from recycled materials, Luxilon Power. There is also, Eco Power. There are also 2 new strings in the range.
A rough and a spin, which is now available, which we are yet to try, but hold out high hopes for.
Yeah, we'll have a whole Eco range review coming soon.
So big shout out to the Eco range.
In at number 5, we have from Toroline,
new kids on the block,
Wasabi Pro Hybrid. Here we do this. Wasabi.
Here we do this. Incredible packaging.
Yeah, until somebody commented that it looks like we're holding a giant condom.
Yeah, a prophylactic.
So
And once you see that, you can't really unsee it.
So there we go.
However,
Packaging done.
It's a
Lovely string.
It's a terrific string. You're getting loads of pop. Little bit of control back in because of that, because it's a hybrid. Remind the people what the hybrid is, Josh.
So it's Wasabi on the mains, Wasabi X on the crosses,
Yes.
which gives you one round and one shape string, and that change gives you more string movement, therefore more ball contact, more spin, more control.
Yes, and I loved Wasabi as a full bed, incredibly lively. And
He loved it so much, he wanted to have Wasabi as its own, as an honourable mention, just before we then do Wasabi Pro Hybrid.
Yeah. But the Wasabi Pro, I think, is the right string to go in here at number 5.
Yeah, and as with all the strings we're going to go through, we do have a full review of the string, so if you want to get more in depth on any particular strings that sounds like the sort of thing you'd like to try, please feel free to go and find those videos.
Yes. In at number 4.
Number 4
is an old classic. Last year's, it's dropped down a place since last year, but still makes the top 5. Think Nick Kyrgios. Think that flashing yellow with the red stencil. It is, of course, Yonex Polytour Pro.
And there is some new options. We've got Polytour Rev, we've got Polytour Air, but we think the classic Polytour Pro, in specifically 1.25, is the string to go with, and definitely the best string from Yonex.
Yeah, works perfectly in a Yonex racket, as you'd expect. Love it in my E-zone. Great for spin. It's great all round, really.
I think also it's just, and there will be a common theme of the types of strings that we like, it's quite soft.
Yes.
It's a soft polyester, you get nice feel, nice control, and especially when you then pair it in, say, a power frame like an E-zone, they kind of balance each other really nicely, which is why it performs so well.
Yes. Beautiful string. Polytour Pro in at number 4.
If you haven't tried it, try it.
Where have you been?
It's been out a while.
Yeah.
In at number 3. Number 3.
It is a sad day for the Golden Goose.
Number 1 last year.
And a terrific string. A string that with all the new strings that we've tested over the last 12 months, that I constantly want to go back to and see, okay, do I still prefer this? Is this still the best one? Is it better at this? Is it better at that?
Agreed.
But I think it may be recency bias, but at number 3 this year, Luxilon 4G Soft in all its golden glory.
Yeah, still a great string.
Yes.
And for those who don't know, like 4G, its kind of big brother, is crazy stiff, crazy hard, crazy durable, and this slightly softened version, still a stiff string, this slightly softened version really brings the best out of the string.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you get great pocketing, you get great feel off it for what is still a stiff string, but it's that pocketing and that softness and that control that you get. Again, Josh and I both use power rackets, and 4G Soft in those power rackets works beautifully because it just brings you back to something slightly more sensible.
Absolutely.
So well done, and commiserations in your fall from grace.
Next year I'll be 5.
In at number 2, and a new entry. If you love sushi,
I do love sushi.
and in particular bluefin tuna,
Yeah, seared on the outside, nice and soft on the inside.
many ways to prepare it. But if you check out our thumbnail for this particular string review,
You've got sashimi on it.
you'll see one of the most beautiful thumbnails for a tennis string you'll ever see.
Who do you think makes the thumbnails?
And it features the bluefin tuna
Why?
as a background, because the name of the string is Toro from Toroline.
The bluefin tuna.
But not
Company.
But not a blue string. You can't see it here, but it is, of course, in a neon pink. It is absolutely fantastic, this string.
Yeah, powerful, lively,
Yeah,
fun,
plenty of control.
easy.
Yeah,
It's there.
You put it in your racket, and it's like, well, I guess it is in the rankings, but like a slightly better 4G Soft.
Wow, which is why maybe it has surpassed it
Yeah,
this year.
The ultra slick strings that you get with Toroline mean you get plenty of snapback, plenty of string movement, so that you're able to generate lots of spin, but the strings also go back into place, so that you have a consistent string bed.
Yeah, you get a consistent feel, consistent outcome. The ball does what you think it's going to do. If you try and hit it hard, it goes hard. If you try and play with some hands, it kind of responds to that nicely.
Yeah, and I think that's what you get. You get loads of feedback, you get loads of pocketing, you get loads of great feel and precision. It's just a really, really good string all around.
Yeah, there is a slightly stiffer version called Super Toro. So if you prefer a stiffer string or you're a string breaker, you're going to have to be a real string breaker to even break through this, but if you were, then Super Toro would be a natural one. The playability is very similar, so that'd be worth it.
So, well done. The condom manufacturers from Toroline have made a beautiful tennis string called Toro, which is in at number 2. Oh my God!
The moment you've been waiting for.
It's time for number 1!
Number one! And this is a new entry.
It is a new entry.
And one that we were put onto in the comments of our 2023 video.
Absolutely, we were. Someone put us onto this string. And I, being the courageous adventurer that I was, pushed to get this string into the shop and get it tested in our rackets.
And now it's sold out.
Yes, we have sold out every single set. People are trying to buy the reels and we won't sell them to them because we want to do our restrings ourselves.
And that is, of course, from Restring Zero.
Restring Zero. As soon as we put this string in our rackets, we loved it. It's got so much, it's that slick string, similar to the Toroline, but even more snapback. So you're generating loads and loads of spin instantly.
So much bite.
Yeah.
So much playability, and the playability stays in the string for so long, I think because of the snapback.
Yes.
And so it really gives you that ability to generate spin and power, maintaining precision and maintaining consistency.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the snapback. We've talked about the movement in the strings creating a lot of spin, the consistent string bed because it goes back, but because of that movement and the way it settles back in, it lasts for longer. So that consistency comes for a longer period of time, and this is part of what Restring are saying, is that the string will last for longer, so you have to change it less, which is why it makes it slightly more eco-friendly with trepidation.
In exciting news, Restring are bringing out a second poly string, which will be a control-orientated string to pair up with Zero being the more power
But
string.
we can't say anything.
That is all we can say. We've been sworn to secrecy.
But we will be the first to get it and to review it, so you will be the first to find out about it when it finally arrives.
So this is our number one string, and we think it probably could be yours too. So if you are in the States, you can order direct from Restring, really simple. If you're in the UK, you can get it from us, although currently we're sold out. So as soon as we get restocked, you can buy it from us. And the rest of the Europe, I think there's more distributors coming. But yes, it's very hard to get your hands on it. But if you do, really recommend giving it a try. It's a great, great option.
So there you have it. That's the top 5 wrapped up. You don't need to keep on searching for strings. Just try these 5, and I'm sure you'll find one that is perfect for you.
Now, of course, remember, a little caveat to throw in here is we haven't included multi-filament strings. And multi-filament strings are the correct option for a lot of players.
Yes.
Polyester strings are where the big chunk of the market is and what the big chunk of the market uses, but not necessarily correctly. So if you're unsure whether you should be using a polyester or a multi-filament string, then I would check out one of our videos where we compare the two and explain the differences and why certain players and certain weights of rackets especially should be using the different types of string.
Yes. There we go. As always, if you found anything we have to say useful, if you completely disagree, which I'm sure some of you will, leave a comment. We'd like to know what you think, if there are some that we've missed. I'm sure there is. We might have tested 30 different polys this year, but there are probably 30 more that we haven't been able to test. Let us know, because next year, that one that you recommend might be the new number 1.
The other thing that also always interests me in the comments is people who go, oh, have you tried Restring Zero with Wasabi X? You start hybriding some of these top 5s, I mean, the possibilities are endless. And also, it's important to have the change of tensions and the change of racket that the strings are in really changes their behaviour. So you might put this in, if you put this in at 60 pounds into a Pro Staff, you might hate it.
Don't do that.
Not the string. You might put it in at 45 in a V-core and be like, God, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So make sure that you are using it to its most potential, and that's for all strings.
Yeah. Again, you can check out all of the full reviews of these strings on our channel, so don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and you'll never miss a thing from PH Tennis.
And we are certain these are the best 5. If anyone thinks differently, they're just wrong. Too much?
Yeah. Let's do another one that's less much.
Okay. Similar vibe, but less much.